on the fuck in. That's what happened. But
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Just see Chinese.
I
nah.
think
But
it's
anyway,
Indian.
Okay.
Mm,
Still
Indian.
Asian.
Still Asian.
Yeah.
Still Asian.
South Asian.
so yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a class of there's a population of people that want to hoard the resources, and we right now that are in the workforce, we that is doing the work, we that is like literally the foundation of America, we are literally not getting our fair share. And then on top of that, there is a stigma, there is a mentality upon people who are working class. If you're not making this type of money, you're an undesirable. You feeling what I'm saying? Like, that's the stigma. So it becomes very hard for men and women to have children when you have a fucking stigma like that running around. That shit is actually pretty toxic. You know what I'm saying? The fact that, I mean, of course, people want stability, but stability comes with, working in a manner where things are manageable. And when you manage those things, it becomes a way for you to build on whatever you want, whether it be a hobby that you had like, or maybe you're knowledgeable about a certain subject, so you contribute to society in that way. But nowadays, people want to make it seem like, oh, you work at this particular place, so that means you're not trying hard enough. And I'm like, what? And I know y'all have heard this assertion before, and it's like, to have that placed upon you all because you're not working a fucking 6-figure job. That is wow. Damn, nigga. So what's the point of even trying then if you're just gonna have that stigma on you? And a lot of people have that, people genuinely have these feelings. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Mm-hmm. So, like, it really woke me up to see how fucking sick this society is. But at the same time, though, there's genuinely good people on this earth. So they're like, we're here. But the problem is we are dealing with spirits and spiritual and principalities in wicked places, just like it says in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. So I hate working. Those are my final thoughts. I fucking hate working. This shit sucks. This
the
ain't
American
life.
American workforce sucks, and we hate it here. Short version of what you're saying.
It is.
Yeah,
I think it's worse in other countries, though.
Yeah, actually, we have it pretty bad. It's
Do
actually no, Ray. I'm telling you, some of the poorest countries in the world guarantee fucking maternal leave. We don't. Ukraine Ukraine is one of the poorest countries in Europe. They guarantee fucking maternal leave. Bulgaria is the poorest country in the EU, guarantees maternity leave for everybody. We are the only motherfucking country that don't do it.
I stand corrected.
Shit, it's certain countries that their actual government is changing how the work week is supposed to be structured. Like the government is actually sticking their hands in that. Like I'm trying to remember the exact places that are trying to transfer to a 4-day weekend. They're just going to increase the pay and just slightly increase the hours a day you work, but your work week is only 4 days.
America. They was trying that in America. It was like,
when?
but I think it was an article I read. Is like company one experience. It's just like, okay, Wednesday is a day off, so you get Monday. You work Monday, Tuesday. You get off on Wednesday, or one half gets off on Wednesday, one half gets off on Thursday, right? And then you get you work your Fridays, and then just off of that weekend and some, just to see how the work environment will be in it. So they experienced it. And I think it said something like it improved. Like a lot of people, when they got that middle of the week off, they felt more rested. They felt more, encouraged to do the work and, finish the work and all that and stuff. So I feel like I said, me and Father Doe said this, there's no reason to work 60 hours a week anymore when everything you could be done in like 20 minutes.
Literally.
So, and literally 20 minutes. It's like a lot of jobs are going through that. Even like some of the most cushy jobs. It's like you can do the shit in 20 minutes because of modern technology. So I think a lot of people are going to I think we're looking into like redistributing how we work through our work days and all that stuff.
Right.
So
I can attest to having to pretend to do something at a job.
Bro, I do that shit all the fucking time. I always
I,
pretend I'm doing something. And then there'll be some
uh,
days where I just don't give a fuck and I just sit there on my phone.
that's how I was in the military sometimes. It was just like, and especially when we was in dock and there was really nothing to do and we did all our work and, they want us to stay there and look busy and keep cleaning shit that's always clean. It's just like, yo, just send us home. Just
Like,
we're in.
there's
It's like
nothing
we're
to do.
yeah, and I hate looking busy. I tell everybody I hate
I
looking busy.
hate that shit. I'm saying.
It's it's the most stupidest
man,
thing. Oh,
man,
he looks like he's working
what?
hard, and then people go, "Oh, you're not working hard." I said, "No, my job is done. I'm finished. I work hard. I tell people all the time. It's like, why is it always? Because I'm always busting my ass, but it was just like every. I had to learn to like not do my job so quickly because all they
Yeah.
would do is just put you on other shit.
Yeah.
So it's just that I had to learn how to do that. I remember they switched me to like DCPO, and I got stuff done on Wednesday, and about Thursday and Friday I was doing nothing but just standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would literally disappear. I was like, "Y'all need me, all right? The fucking if y'all need me, don't." That was my attitude, and it's just like they had to switch me back to my old self because it was just like because I was doing my job too well,
That's
and it's
fucking
just like it seems like
crazy.
not because this is what they said. It seems like he just does nothing, and I keep telling people it's just like no. My boss had to tell them no. He gets all his job done at the beginning of the week. By Thursday and Friday, there's nothing else to do. So either if he's not helping other people out, which if I was bored, I would go help other people out. I would disappear. There was times I fucking disappear. It's like no one needs me. I'm gonna go somewhere else. It was just one of those days. It's just like, but it's just like funny thing is when I moved back to the pipe shop, which I was originally it was just like it's not like I was a lazy. I was still doing the work. It's
Yeah.
just like you give me the work, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just that it doesn't. Sometimes some jobs don't take all day. Why are we here? Just you could send us home. We have duty section people here for a reason. Just send us home. But that's engineering.
Reduced to a skeleton crew just in case the motherfucking phone ring for some shit. That's what my unit did with the Marines.
Yeah, but we was on a
Shit.
carrier, and the thing about carriers is they're like the big boats. Oh, so
Yeah.
they're always
I know
in
what
the
you mean.
eye. Yeah. So they're always in the eye. So it's just like people was always looking at you or some shit like that. So I was like, I fucking hate being here. Sometimes it's just I fucking hate being here. I'll say. But that's your final thoughts, right, Father?
Yeah, that's my final thoughts.
Yeah. Before I go on the rant and shit,
I'm saying.
I want people. I want people to understand. And this is for anybody that argues on Twitter and or Facebook or anything. Comprehension, people. Comprehend is like I had to deal with it twice with different things, but the one that got me, and I already see these to my group chat, but for context, I'm going to tell the audience. This dude on my Facebook, he asked this question. He was like having a debate. Um, why can't homosexuality and masculinity coexist? And I basically gave this answer. In my personal opinion, it's because of how people look at gays. Also, when majority of them come out the closet, they act like women, not just dressing like it, acting like it, even changing their tone, calling each other girl, bitch, and shit like that. If the image of a gay person was more like Mike Tyson or any other masculine male you could think of, it would probably be viewed differently. Now, that sounded like a very logical answer, right? Because if you look at the media, especially like the early 80s and up until like Will and Grace, every person that was gay or like you at least personified as gay and they was a gay male, they always had feminine traits. Or they would snap their fingers, they go, hey, when um David Wayans and David Allen Greer did Men on Film. They wore
Mm-hmm.
tight ass clothes in, and he was like too sweet and hated it. All that, the voice and all that other stuff. That's what you've seen on TV. So that's what a lot of people, when you think of coming out the closet, that's what they think about when you think of a gay man. That's what they think of.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
okay,
I've
that's
met
logical.
masculine gays, so
I have too.
Interesting.
I have too, and I told people not till like what Will and Grace. It's like because he was normal.
Mm-hmm.
He was very masculine. He was very normal. But Jack, that's what everybody think of when you think of a gay person. Jack. So one of the dudes, he replies, "What you're saying is that you want gays to look a certain way, even though majority of the straights don't look that way." He said,
Wow.
10% of the U.S. is gay. 1 out of 10. Think about when you watch sports because there's at least one closet homosexual on every roster. So I replied, I never said that.
Can
Hey,
I
I
never.
add that? Can I add that what you said honestly has nothing to do with what you said?
has that changed any? Has being gay ever changed an athlete's performance?
No.
No.
Exactly. So how is that what you're saying? Oh
But
my God.
but the thing is, he was like, "Oh, so you want gays to act a certain way?" I said, "I never said that." It was
No.
like I never said I want gays to look like anything. I said the image of the gay man that's been portrayed, even when I step outside, they act
Mm-hmm.
like women, which you can see for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then this other person goes, "It seems like you're just lumping all gay men with the stereotypical feminine gay men."
Yeah, you got offended. That's all. He just
Also, real quick, Ray, shout out to Anthony Bowens from AEW because he's fire. He was putting off fantastic matches
He was. He was.
in AEW.
He
So
was.
shout out to him. But yeah, go
And
ahead.
like she said, not all gay men are represented by their sexuality or represented by as flamboyant in the media, just like how all straight men are solely represented by their sexuality. The fact that you matter is you wouldn't even know a lot of gay men are gay unless they explicitly tell you are. That's a fucking lie. Because there's a lot of people you could tell they're gay before you even say a fucking word.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
There's like
I
I can
understand
count
we
on
are.
one hand the famous gay people that don't act that way, that aren't flamboyant, and one of them is one
Yeah,
of my favorite actors. So I'm like,
I
okay.
could just think of Neil Patrick Harris.
Right.
If for me, it's John Barrowman. If
I
you
didn't even. I don't even know who that is, but
He's
it's
okay.
just.
If you
I'm
watch
pretty.
Arrow, I'm sure any of y'all watch Arrow, right? On CW.
Who
Yeah.
was he on Arrow?
He was the first bad guy, Dark Archer, the other rich guy, the one
Uh.
that killed off the family, the main baddie in the first season. He came back once in a while, but he was the guy that Tommy's father.
That
Okay.
motherfucker.
Yeah, he's gay, straight up gay. I remember him from back in Doctor Who and all the British shows before he moved to the States. He's a Scottish, and he's straight up gay. He's but he doesn't act flamboyant unless a role asks for it. But in his real life, he doesn't do that. He does. I've never seen him portrayed that way either. Even in Doctor Who, he was considered omnisexual, where it didn't even matter what, because Doctor Who's about space travel and shit. So that meant he will fuck aliens no matter what gender you are. He didn't act flamboyant at all. At
Man,
all.
so he would literally fuck anything.
Yeah. He's my
Also,
favorite character
Omar.
in that whole Doctor Who series.
Also, Omar from The Wire, because like he was gay, but he never acted
Yeah.
flamboyant. He was actually pretty masculine. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, niggas feared him,
Mm-hmm.
and they knew he was gay. They feared him. So it's just like I know this, and this is what I tell people. I know that there are men that act masculine, as what D was done stated, as what I done stated. But you cannot deny the point that when people think about, or like the majority of people, when they think of a gay person, they think of the most flamboyant person you think of. They'll
Yeah,
think of a Perez Hilton,
Mm-hmm.
James Charles,
yeah.
what's his name, Bretman Rock, and niggas like that, or something like that. It's just not. It's like you
Bobby
wouldn't like.
Lights.
Yes, the Bobby Lights, and that man. I'm sorry, he's super flamboyant. That shit is just like that's what niggas think about.
Yeah,
All right, like nobody is naming Michael Sam is not the first person you think of, or Jason Collins, or motherfucking Darren Young from WWE. Those are some masculine ass dudes, but that are fucking gay. But these are most of the time you're thinking of more flamboyant, and that's what I'm trying to say. And that's why I said if most people had like if most people or most gay men was presented like someone like a Mike Tyson, who is just like that nigga will knock you out And he done said, and this is the man who said, "I will fuck you until you love me, faggot."
Right?
He done, like he said that. Anybody else that would have sounded gay, but that shit
Yo.
sounded fucking scary when Mike said
He
that.
doesn't even have to say pause, yo.
He didn't. I remember saying that. I said, I don't want to meet this man. I want to meet him now. But then I was like, if someone ever said that and he looked like Mike Tyson, I'm going the fuck the other way.
Quick. Yeah, but real quick, what do we always say, Ray? 90s gays will fuck you. Because we know. Like, people like Flame Monroe exist, okay? Like, even though that's a trans woman, like, them motherfuckers don't give a fuck that, you call them whatever pronoun. That's just the way they are. You know what I'm saying? It was just giving them that respect. That was literally it. Like, yeah, it's I feel like at the end of the day, it's all about respect. But at the same time, your point was literally proven so many times with all the examples you gave. As a matter of fact, we didn't even have to think about the shit.
Right. And also, just like, I understand, and this is probably when I'm going, I understand, like the LGBT, they can be, like, a lot of people pick on them. A lot of people fuck with them, just like a lot of people fuck with black people and all that other stuff. And sometimes we don't see shit that's in the media that, black people, sometimes we got to look at it as like, damn, is that racist or not? Or, like, motherfucking the big ass black dancing nigga, they call himself the grooving gorilla and all that other stuff. Like, dudes kind of have problem with that and all that other stuff. But I think it's because of his dance. They don't like seeing big black niggas dancing like that. I don't know. Except for Terry Crews. When Terry Crews does it, it's funny. It's just weird when
I chalk that up to the faces he makes when he dances.
But I see Terry Crews. But I see Terry Crews pop like no one else says a fucking thing. It's fucking hilarious when Terry Crews does it. So it's just like when this other big buff ass nigga dances. It's just like a lot of people look at this.
Scary is what makes it funny. He'll go from the better on the character he's playing. He'll go from all big and scary and intimidating and shit to him, break dancing and pop like a shit with no shirt on and shit.
Yeah. But like I said, I understand, like, these people have been oppressed. These people has been, like, fucked with and all that stuff. But sometimes not everybody, especially when we're having conversations like this, not everybody's coming from a place of attacking. Some people is just like, this is what I view, especially like, this is what I view in the world. This is what I see sometimes. And it's just like, maybe that's why, if you're wondering why things are this way, these are my thoughts, these are my views, and this is what you see. Not everything is coming as an attack, especially, like, I understand, like, a lot of people do come at gays, but not everything people say is homophobic sometimes. Sometimes the shit we say is, like, very logical, and it's, like, very real. It's like, we're not coming from a place of hate. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you gotta sit there. Maybe if it bugs you or confuses you, read it a couple times. If it's something you see, just maybe bring it back a couple times just to understand what he's saying before you give out our answers, before you, like, do your response. Because sometimes when y'all respond, it has nothing to do with the situation or nothing to do with what we're talking about. Literally. So it's literally, like, and not just for this. I done seen it for women, especially when, like, Ruth George, the Ruth George shit. When someone told me that most rape victims are people that you know, and I said, as true as the fact is, the guy that did that, she didn't know who the fuck he was. He was a stranger, so he was the literal boogeyman. And I had to tell that to a woman, and even though I was, everything I said was true, she still tried to argue me the fact. And I was like, ma'am, please comprehend the sentence before you start, I understand. Like, I understand some topics are sensitive, and some people, they do, and I've seen it from the other side when people, like, they say stuff very ignorant to where it's just like, I understand what he's saying, but I wish he didn't say it like that. But not everybody but like I said, not everybody's coming from a place of hate.
May I add one thing?
Go ahead, Dion.
Going back to how gays are always seem to be portrayed as, feminine and whatnot. I want everyone to remember the Booty Warrior from the Boondocks is based on an actual person.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
You know, I actually looked up information about him. You know, he used to be what's it, Greek wrestler, one of them high school wrestlers. Like, so when he said when you do it the easy way or the hard way, that nigga had technique.
So he
Oh
So
knows how
that
to tear a
no.
motherfucker down.
So yo,
yeah,
oh my god,
You're not
so
that
he
getting
nigga
was
was
away.
nothing. He was nothing to be played with. So
shit.
He likes you and he wants you.
So he
And
was
he's
able to
gonna
back
have
up
you.
them words, yo. It wasn't just
yeah, he
threats to
was able to
scare
back
you.
up them words.
Shit.
And that man was a little psychopath though. He would rather do it the hard way
Mm.
sometimes.
Booty is
He's
more important than motor. I'm sorry, that shit was just funny to me.
I like
Yo.
booty. I like booty. But uh, anybody else got something to say before I end the podcast?
Nah, that's it.
Okay, all
90s
right,
gays will fuck
and
you up.
yeah, 90s gays will fuck you up. I'm gonna just end it right there. I would like to thank the panel for jumping on this podcast once again. Crystal, she couldn't make it. She said she had something to do in the morning, so she had to make sure she was up. So, but she sends her warm regards to us. So, um, God bless you, Crystal.
God bless you.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I would like to thank all of y'all for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is You Know What? Let me just say podcast, and we signing out. Peace.
Cheers.
Adios.